What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours, where there is a lot to discuss. Firstly, yesterday Barcelona had a big meeting for the operation of Vitor Roque, where Deco is spearheading the movement for Barcelona. An agreement is close with the two clubs, but personal terms have been fully agreed with the player, with a big release clause being included and a 5-year deal. All roads lead to an agreement being reached very, very soon. Now, of course, Barcelona's big goal this summer is to reinforce the midfield. We have an update on the pivot position with Zubimendi, Amrabat, Brozovic, and we also give you guys an update on Ilkay Gundogan's decision, which hopefully will be coming in very, very soon. But how Xavi does want another midfielder in Giovanni Lo Celso. Xavi loves his profile and he wants to add another creative midfielder to the current midfield roster at Barcelona. But of course, with the club wanting to make a lot of movements and sign players this summer, the club must sell players to get out of the 1-4 rule in La Liga and to go back to the 1-1 rule. We have an update on all the French players in Collado, Umtiti, Dest, Lenglet, and how Besiktas are very interested in a few of those French players and did have a meeting with Barcelona a few days ago to talk and discuss about an operation involving those players. We also have a big update on Ferran Torres' future, and both Raphinha and Dembele have spoken in the media and given updates on their futures as well. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Now, as we all know, Xavi's #1 priority this summer is to sign a top-level defensive midfielder, and over recent weeks, there hasn't been any developments on signing a pivot. Ferran Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Xavi is clear about it. He needs a top-level defensive midfielder. He remains insistent on the signing of Zubimendi. Meanwhile, Real Sociedad is calm. The issue with signing Zubimendi does not rely on Real Sociedad. It does rely on the player, who right now wants to stay at Real Sociedad and play in the Champions League with them next season. That's his main target. He's a boyhood Sociedad fan. They've been in the Champions League in a very long time, and he wants to, experience life in the Champions League with his boyhood club, and that's where the issue comes in, convincing the player to leave. With Sociedad, it's very simple. You activate the release clause. That's all you can do. They will not accept a cent under the release clause, and they will not accept any installments whatsoever. You pay 60 up front, and that's it. It's just now down to convincing the player and agreeing personal terms with the Spanish midfielder. So we'll wait and see. Again, Xavi's bet is Zubimendi. If he can sign any defensive midfielder in the world, I think it would be Zubimendi. And maybe second could be Joshua Kimmich. There has been some talk about Kimmich as well, but no developments whatsoever on what is Barcelona's #1 priority. Now, it's very clear that the Zubimendi and Kimmich operations are very, very complicated. We have been linked with some alternatives. One, of course, is a main name that we've seen a lot, and that is the signing, of course, of Sofiane Amrabat. Now, there are reports coming in from the Moroccan media saying that only 2 potential destinations are for Amrabat right now, and that is Barcelona or Atletico Madrid. Now, also, the Moroccan coach did not call up Amrabat for the Moroccan national team, or he let him go early back to home because he said that he has to, finish his transfer to his new club. So it's quite clear Amrabat will leave Fiorentina. The question now is, what will be his destination? Now, Ben Jacobs, who gave an exclusive to Barca Buzz on Twitter, came out saying that Sofiane Amrabat is currently Barcelona's most concrete option of being the pivot signing. He also prefers a move to Spain. If Barcelona decide to go for him, Barcelona Atletico Madrid could end up in a head-to-head race. So it's quite clear that not only do Barcelona want Zubimendi, but also Atletico Madrid. Now, it's very important to remember that Atletico Madrid are also in a very similar situation with Barcelona, where they have to sell players in order to sign. So we don't have to be too scared about that right now. Of course, they want to sell João Felix, and they have other players as well, but they're having difficulty selling players, and they have to sell to buy as well. So wait and see with Amrabat. I think, again, if Barcelona communicate to him, they want him, I think he will pick Barcelona over Atletico Madrid every single day of the week. It's just now really solidifying that Amrabat option. But there has been another name that has emerged recently over the past 24 hours, and that is the name of Marcelo Brozovic. Again, Ferran Martinez came out saying that Brozovic is among the options for the pivot. Now, over recent months, I've been very against the signing of Brozovic, maybe because of his age. I think he can come in, of course, do a job for 1 to 2 years, but with the lack of movements for the pivot with Kimmich and Zubimendi being difficult, I honestly would be very, very open to bringing in Brozovic. And I honestly would go as far to say that I think that Brozovic is a better pivot for Barcelona than Amrabat. I do think Amrabat is a fantastic player. I would take him at the club, but I think that Brozovic in that position that we need, the pivot, is better than Amrabat. And I would take him for a year or two. Maybe the Zubimendi will, run down his contract with Real Sociedad, or another name pops up, or the case, maybe it could be Fabrizio Diaz, the Uruguayan, whatever the case may be. I would really start considering the option of bringing in Brozovic on, maybe a 1-year deal plus 1-year option. But with Inter, the issue is they want swap deals, and we need to sell our players, of course, to bring in Brozovic. And Brozovic only just renewed his contract, so getting him out of Inter Milan is going to be very, very difficult. He'll cost quite a bit. I think he'll be the same price as Kessie. That's why they want to do a swap. But I think a swap for Barcelona with Kessie straight up isn't the best. I'd probably consider 15 million and 50 million Brozovic for Kessie. I'd highly consider that offer. So we'll wait and see what Barcelona do. Again, the number one priority, there hasn't been any movement whatsoever, not really anything concrete, so to speak. So wait and see how things develop. But again, the club are desperate to sign a top level, keep that in mind, top level pivot this summer. Now, along with a pivot, another area in the midfield where Barcelona want to reinforce is on the interior of the midfield. And of course, number one priority in that position is Ilkay Gundogan. Again, we are still waiting for his decision. I am absolutely shocked it has taken this long. We're looking like it's going to come at the next week, of course, Monday the 19th. So it's being delayed quite a bit in my opinion. Anyways, the Athletic are reporting that Barcelona have improved their offer to a 3-year proposal for Ilkay Gundogan, so 2+1 and apparently higher wages. I don't know if that's the case or not. Again, everything Barcelona suggests is that Barcelona have not improved their offer. They get the exact same, and they're still waiting for Gundogan decision. There are reports also coming in saying that Barcelona have actually stepped up in their pursuit of Ilkay Gundogan recently, and Xavi has been in constant contact with him, but the uncertainty remains due to guarantees regarding the registration. Gundogan will first inform his decision to Man City, who desperately want him to stay before committing to any club. So we're still waiting. I'm shocked it's taking this long. We'll have to wait and see. Again, currently all roads lead to Barcelona, but free agents, you just never know. They can change their mind in a flash. Now, we always knew that the club wanted to sign 2 midfielders. Pivot, Zubimendi, Kimmich, Brozovic, Amrabat, whatever, and then interior in Gundogan. But now apparently, you guessed it, Barcelona want more midfielders. Fernando Polo and Fran Martinez from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that in addition to a pivot and Ilkay Gundogan, who are the priorities, Xavi wants another creative midfielder in the squad who could filter passes to the forwards, especially to Lewandowski. It would be, though, a low-cost profile. Now, I thought Gundogan was going to be that creative midfielder. Of course, he's not naturally a creative midfielder, but he can play in that creative midfielder role. Then you can put probably Gavi on the interior, and you can, work with the squad that you have. But apparently Barcelona want to add another player on top of that with a low cost profile. Lewandowski has also said internally that it would be very good for him to receive more balls inside the area to be 1v1 with opponent defenders. Xavi considers that in the absence of Pedri, Barcelona barely create anything from the inside and depend too much on the wings. When Pedri does not play for Barcelona, struggle to get balls into the area, and thus they want to have another creative midfielder. Now Deco and Ademan must find a player of that style who can also fit into the financial fair play. Now I'm reading this report, I'm thinking, who are they going to bring? Is this, Alex Baena? He's not going to fit in the FFP. He has a 60 million euro release clause with Villarreal, and they're not going to negotiate. We don't got that kind of money. But apparently, there's more than just Alex Baena. Again, from the Polo from Martinez Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Xavi likes Giovanni Lo Celso a lot. The coach considers him that he meets the playmaking profile. Spurs will define his future very soon. And also Alex Baena is also linked, but he has a 60 million euro release clause, which makes it almost impossible. So the club want to sign a Villarreal midfielder essentially. Now, technically Lo Celso is on loan from Tottenham Hotspur, so Barcelona will have to negotiate with Tottenham Hotspur in order to get a deal done for Lo Celso. Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed that Xavi and Barcelona appreciate Giovanni Lo Celso a lot. I think Lo Celso would be a great signing, but here's the couple stipulations. Number one, the price. Now, we do know that Tottenham do want Lenglet. You could include that in our operation. Maybe do a little swap deal. Lenglet plus 50 million for Lo Celso, 20 million, whatever the case may be. But then there's that beautiful player in Turkey named Arda Güler, who is 17 years old and has a 17 million euro release clause, and he's one of the most up-and-coming, promising, creative midfielders in the world. And he's cheaper than Lo Celso. We have a younger squad. You take that young bet, or you bring someone who's a bit more mature and can, deliver for the now. It's quite the situation to be in. I personally would not go a penny over 20 million plus Lenglet, so you're looking at maybe 30 million euro, 35 million euro valuation. I think that's very fair. But we'll wait and see what the club do. I'm still very uncertain whether that will sign the midfielder. Then you're just going to have an overstock in the midfield. You still have to get rid of Kessie. Then you're going to have Gavi, who's going to get less playing time. Again, Gavi's selling shirts. He's the number one sold shirt right now in Barcelona. You got to give him somewhat of a first team starting role. He cannot be on the bench week in, week out if other players are ahead of him. So that's also something very important to keep in mind. So wait and see. I highly doubt we're going to sign 3 midfielders. I suspect we will sign a pivot and then an interior. But if the Gundogan signing does fall through, he just decided to stay with Man City, I think the club will probably definitely go for Lo Celso. Maybe offer some money for him and maybe include Lenglet. So we'll see what the club decide. But again, the club considered it an utmost priority to really, really reinforce that midfield. But the operation where Barcelona have been investing the most time in recent days is, of course, in the Vitor Roque operation, and we do have huge developments on his future, and he is very close to signing with Barcelona. Now, Joaquin Pereira, of course, the number one source of Brazilian players joining Barcelona or leaving Barcelona. He writes for Sport, of course. He's come out saying that the Athletic CEO is in Barcelona. He plans to meet with the club in the coming hours, of course, yesterday to negotiate for Vitor Roque. Deco does not want surprises, and he is the one who is leading the contacts by Barcelona. The meeting will define the price that could be around 45 million euros in total between fixed and variables. Vitor Roque has blocked the possibility of a bidding war involving England clubs, and he prioritizes Barcelona and has told this to his club Atletico. Fabrizio Romano confirmed this, and the Atletico board member are now in Barcelona to discuss the structure and timing of the deal with Barcelona. The meeting will take place soon. Vitor Roque is waiting and trying his best to join Barcelona. Now, when I read this, I saw structure and timing, because now apparently timing is a big question. He could join now, could join in January, or he can join next summer. It is all over the place. Jordan Mero then confirmed this again, saying that the CEO of Atletico met with Deco and Vitor Roque's agent Andre Curry, discussion of form of payments, and there are still some important fringes that need to be discussed. Go Brazil came out confirming that Barcelona are open to getting Roque for around 40 million euros, but paid in a 4 installment plan, while the Brazilian club wants the amount to be paid in less years. There will be more talks soon. Then, Mr. Negative Juan Marti came out saying that Vitor Roque would either join in January or next summer. So this summer is completely ruled out. And I'm thinking, this man, if he gets this wrong, his reliability scale is dropping down for me. Because ain't no way you can be a reliable Barcelona journalist and report nothing but negative news. I have not seen him report one thing positive in the past month and a bit. Anyways, Javi Miguel came out saying that Barcelona and Xavi wants Vitor Roque to start the 2023-2024 season with Barcelona, and Deco is working with that in mind. In the end, we'll see whether he joins now or midway through. I think Joaquin Pereira also said that he'll either join now or in January. So apparently next summer is very unlikely, but according to Juan Marti, you just never know. Roger Todor and Gabriel Sanz from Mundo Deportivo confirmed the meeting, saying that Barcelona and Atletico had ended their first meeting together without an agreement for Vitor Roque, but new contacts will take place in the coming week, and it was a positive meeting. Then we got the big updates from 2 very reliable journalists. Firstly, Joaquin Pereira again from Sport. He came out saying the first meeting between Barcelona and Athletic for Vitor Roque was positive. In the meeting, Barcelona offered to pay 30 million fixed plus 5 million in bonuses, so variables for the player. Athletic Paranaense are asking for more than 45 million euros. Barcelona is confident that in the next few days there will be an agreement between the clubs, and the club have already told Vitor Roque that they will be able to register him this summer. Again, with Vitor Roque, registration for him will not be an issue. The club just need to sell players, whether it's Umtiti, Lenglet, Dest, Collado, Nico, Abde, Kessie, Ansu, Ferran. They just need to sell players. In the end, the club, in some way, shape, or form, this summer will get rid of players, and once that's done, we'll go back to the 1-1 rule in La Liga, and we'll be able to register players. And finally, Fabrizio Romano came out confirming as well that Barcelona have reached an agreement with Vitor Roque for personal terms, so his contract with Barcelona is fully agreed. Deco will meet again with Athletic Paranaense to reach an agreement between the two clubs on the structure of the agreement, and his contract will be until 2028 and will have a big release clause. So he will essentially sign a 5-year deal, and he will have a big release clause. I would suspect over 500. I suspect 6, 7, 8. I don't think he'll get 9 or a billion. I don't think he's at that level quite yet. But again, positive developments, personal terms now fully agreed. It's just now about agreeing on the price and the structure with Athletic Paranaense from Brazil, and that way Barcelona will be able to sign Vitor Roque, who of course was their number one priority to reinforce the number 9 position to provide coverage and competition for Lewandowski. The signing is very much on track, and pending an agreement with Athletic Paranaense, all Barcelona have to do is sell players to be able to register him and sign him now. Still a little possibility that maybe he does come in January, so you load him back for 6 months. But very, very unlikely. I think he'll join next summer, so we'll wait and see how those developments. But again, Vitor Roque signing very much well on track, and he's very, very close to becoming a Blaugrana. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. Firstly, we have reports coming in about Besiktas being interested in a few Barcelona players. Now, Gigantes did catch the sporting director of Besiktas at an intermediary meeting in the morning with Mateo Alemán a few days ago, and there could be no deals between the club when the economic situation does improve. This, I believe, came out on Thursday or Friday, and then over the past weekend, we got reports coming in from Mateo Morito from Marlivo saying that the sporting director of Besiktas met with Barcelona sporting management, and they did discuss the future of Samuel Umtiti, Franck Kessie, Sergino Dest, and Alex Collado. So those are the 4 players that Besiktas are currently interested in. I think Kessie is very much far-fetched, but Collado, Dest, and Umtiti could be some options for Barcelona. Again, package deal for the 3 of them, 20 million. I'll absolutely take it, but again, it has to be the player also open to that possible move. But again, there is interest for those fringe players at Barcelona. Now on Umtiti, we do have an update on his future coming in again from Mateo Morito from Marlivo, and he's come out saying that Samuel Umtiti will 100% leave Barcelona this summer, while Besiktas, Lyon, and some Italian teams are interested in the center back. So what's good about Umtiti is that there's interest. Italian teams, Lyon, Besiktas, so it's going to be up to him to decide his destination, and with a lot of this interest, hopefully this means that Barcelona will get a small transfer fee, 4 million, 5 million variables. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. So again, I'm not too worried about Umtiti's future. There is interest there from Besiktas, which is pretty much confirmed since they were at the Ciutat Esportiva, Sport City in Barcelona, Joan Gamper. So that's not going to be a problem in my opinion. We also have an update on Alex Collado. Mateo Morito from Marlivo came out saying that Alex Collado is also generating interest from teams in Greece, whether that's Panathinaikos, Olympiacos. There is also interest for Collado, which is very important. And also, Mundo Deportivo are reporting that Las Palmas is also a real possibility for Collado. Of course, their manager, former Collado coach, Gracia Pimienta, has requested his signing. So whether or not it's going to be a free transfer or not, we'll have to wait and see with Collado. The club might just, give him the benefit of the doubt and make him become a free agent. He can go pick his own club. We don't have to negotiate or worry about it. Or if the club are really, stingy, they can try and get a couple million or some couple of variables in him. I do hope we go for the variables option, like a Ricky push operation Mingueza from last summer. Let him go for free, 50% future sell-on clause or buyback option, or whatever the case may be with Collado. Just include those stipulations in there, then you can let him go, no problem. But again, the most reassuring thing about this is that there is interest for the Barcelona French players, Dest, Collado, Umtiti. So hopefully the club can make some moves in order to sell them. Another French player which the club must get rid of this summer is, of course, Clement Lenglet. We got the bad news a few days ago that Tottenham released Clement Lenglet following his loan, and they wouldn't execute their buy option, which apparently was there, but maybe wasn't there. But they released a statement saying that Lenglet will return to Barcelona once his loan expires. We all lost our minds. We're thinking, why are Tottenham negotiating with us for weeks and weeks and weeks and just say this out of nowhere? Apparently it was, a little bit of tactics from Tottenham Hotspur. They are still interested in the services of Lenglet. Firstly, Sport came out saying that since there was no definitive buy option for Lenglet, the statement from Spurs was logical. A move is still not entirely ruled out. They've been negotiating for weeks. Barcelona want around 10 to 50 million euros, which of now Spurs do not want to pay. Juan Martin then came out saying that Barcelona and Tottenham Hotspur will meet in the next few days for Clement Lenglet. Spurs are squeezing as they know Barcelona needs money. Barcelona will consider an offer for over 10 to 12 million as good. Lenglet and Spurs are very happy with each other. And then we got the confirmation from Fabrizio Romano. He's come out saying that Barcelona and Spurs will discuss Lenglet in the next few days. Spurs have two other names for a left-footed center back, but Lenglet remains among those options. So Tottenham want to keep Lenglet, but they know they can absolutely squeeze Barcelona to the last second to get rid of him. To be honest, Lenglet's salary scares me so much to the point that I would just take whatever Spurs give you. Maybe play a little bit of hard ball. They may say, okay, here's 9. Just take it. Take it and run with Lenglet because you just don't want to risk it. Because if we don't get a striker deal with Tottenham Hotspur, who knows who's going to be interested in Lenglet on a permanent move. I think low moves will definitely surface about, but permanent is what we need. Transfer fee, getting rid of the wages, absolutely happy days. Now, Roger Fedor from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona hopes to accelerate the exit of both Samuel Umtiti and Clement Lenglet this week. Barcelona will be looking for the transfers for the two Frenchmen permanently, as it would free up space in the wage bill. Again, we've heard some mixed reports, but generally speaking, about 25 million on the wage bill is for Lenglet and Umtiti, and we have got to get rid of that. Again, with Umtiti, I'm not too worried. The interest there is just about him picking the club, then Barcelona trying to get the best deal out of it, transfer fee wise. But with Lenglet, we've got Tottenham and no one else. And if we don't strike a permanent deal with Tottenham, I would be very, very worried for the future of Lenglet. Again, low moves, not too worried about that, but permanent is what we need. So wait and see what happens with the two French center backs, but hopefully both the French center backs will be leaving the club in some way, shape, or form, some capacity this summer. Now, a player who Barcelona want to sell but is refusing to leave the club is Ferran Torres. Gabriel Sanz from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona is yet to find a club interested in paying at least 35 million euros for Ferran Torres, who wants to stay this summer. So not only does the club want to get rid of Ferran Torres, the player wants to stay, and there's no offers on the table for Ferran, which again bodes well for him. He has a valid contract at Barcelona, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think selling Ferran Torres this summer is going to be very, very difficult. I was really hoping that Mateo Alemán is going to go to Aston Villa and buy him, but that's no longer the case. Aston Villa looking for the new sporting director in Monchi, who's going to be working alongside Unai Emery, so hopefully they may come sniffing around for Ferran Torres, but I do hardly doubt that. I think any club bids more than 20 million euros for Ferran Torres, I would be shocked, because with the season he's had, with the minimum sale requirement that Barcelona need and his salary, it's just, I think, too good to be true for Ferran Torres to leave. I do see it as a very difficult operation, but I do hope the club use Ferran in some swap deals potentially. Maybe offering Bayern 30 million plus Ferran, see if they bite. Maybe offer, I don't know, Tottenham 20 plus Ferran, or maybe 10 million plus Ferran and Lenglet, see if they sniff at that, because you can definitely say that Tottenham could maybe use some wingers, although they just did buy Kulusevski for 30 million on a permanent transfer, but you never know. I do hope the club try to offer Ferran Torres as part of swap deals around here and there, but for direct transfers, it does look like a very difficult operation. But also keep in mind for a low move, because that is definitely not ruled out. Now, a player who, according to reports, will be staying at Barcelona for the upcoming season is Abde. Santi from Foot Mercado is reporting that Abde will stay at Barcelona next year, barring a big offer, even though his agents are leaning towards an exit. Barcelona believes he's ready to compete in the high-level football, and that he'll have an important role in the team, and also Xavi wants to keep him. Now, this is very, very interesting. Again, this tells me a winger is leaving, whether it's Ousmane Dembele, Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, or Raphinha. I do think one of them will leave the club this summer in some way, shape, form, or capacity. Whether it's Dembele, release clause activated, he won't renew. Raphinha, 80 million plus. Ansu Fati, 60 million plus if a club comes in for him that's interesting other than Wolves. And Ferran Torres, just anyone who's somewhat interested. So this for me says that, someone is leaving in the winger department, and then Abde will come in as a direct replacement for them, because he comes in with, youngster, great potential, and he's free, of course. So not too fussed about that, but it's very, very interesting to see who we do get rid of. If it's for Ferran, I don't think anyone will fuss. If it's for Ansu, there might be a debate. If it's for Raphinha, we're going to have an outlash chaos, and if it's for Dembele, we're gonna riot. So we'll wait and see what happens. But again, Abde is set to stay at Barcelona this season and will replace a winger who is outgoing. Now, on those outgoing wingers, it is quite ironic that both Raphinha and Ousmane Dembele have spoken in the media over the past 48 hours on their future, and they've both given the exact same statement, which is kind of hilarious in my opinion, but it's one, in my opinion, that's very, very positive for the Culés in the world. Now, firstly, on Raphinha, he came out saying that I will continue at Barcelona next season, and the season after that, and the season after that. I have many years on my contract, and I hope to fulfill those years and many more. And also, he said that the Champions League is the big goal for Barcelona next season. So that, of course, brings me a lot of excitement to hear. And also for the fact that he wants to stay. Again, there were reports a few months ago saying that he had a bit of doubts he might leave, but they shut down everything, and he has fully committed to stay. And of course, Xavi has come out in the media on multiple occasions saying that he wants Raphinha to stay as well. So you can, consider that as a shot case, barring a huge offer. And then, of course, as well with Ousmane Dembele, he was speaking to Marca, and he came out saying that Barcelona wants to renew me until 2027. My agent is talking to them, and I'm happy here, and I want to continue. So Dembele has confirmed that the club have offered him a renewal until 2027, and that they are in negotiations. He also came out saying, I don't know why there's been so much talk about PSG in the media, maybe because I am French, but there was and there is nothing with Paris Saint-Germain. So there you go. Dembele is confirmed he's got a renewal offer on the table from Barcelona, and his agent is currently analyzing it and negotiating it with the club. But similar to Raphinha, Dembele has also confirmed Barcelona's big ambitions next season in the Champions League. He's come out saying that everyone wants to win the Champions League again because we haven't won it for many years. I hope everything goes well in Europe next season. We are very excited to win the Champions League because we have a good team, but we found several factors. We had injuries and some refereeing also influenced it. The Champions League does not forgive you, and it will make a mistake and then you leave. This is so, but we are still very excited about the Champions League, and we will see what happens next season. So that's both Barcelona wingers saying they want to stay, and also that the big goal next season is to win the Champions League. So wait and see how things develop. Again, basically all the reports have come out confirming what the players have spoken about in the recent hours, and I'll see it as very, very difficult if both Raphinha and Dembele leave, but I wouldn't necessarily rule out one of them leaving, because again, the club need to sell a winger this summer to provide funds for FFP, trim the wage bill, and also allow Abde to join the first team as well. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys the updates on how the Barcelona board are going to be giving up their own money to help with the club's financial fair play situation. This is coming in from Ferran Torres from Sport. He's come out saying that Barcelona's board of directors will put 6 million euros as a guarantee to La Liga in order to not worsen financial fair play. The reason is not being able to meet the budgeted wage bill reductions in the women and grassroots football, which was around 104 million, and the club promised to reduce it by 10 million. The reduction has been at 4 million, and the remaining 6 million will be endorsed by the board of directors. If the guarantee is not done, it would worsen FFP and will not allow the club to sign players, and the guarantee of 6 million euros can be recovered when the objective set by La Liga is met. So the club didn't meet the exact numbers in the women's team and also grassroots football's wage bill, and there is a gap of around 6 million euros. In order to get to the 1-1 rule as fast as possible, the board of directors have put up together a total of 6 million euros to comply with the missing figure. So again, this just shows how dedicated the board of directors are, whether it's Joan Laporta, Rafael Uste, Mateo Alemán, Deco soon to be, Eduardo Romeu. They're all in there together, which of course is a beautiful sight to see, but it does show how bad the situation is when the own board members are putting up their own money to help the club out. But I have nothing but support for the dedication, and I would not want any other board directors in the current situation with Barcelona trying to resolve everything and bring Barcelona back on top in the world. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to know firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the Vitor Roque operation. You think it'll be completed now this summer, in January, or God forbid next summer? Secondly, your thoughts on Lo Celso possibly coming into Barcelona. Would you offer a swap deal with Lenglet? Maybe include other players as my hypothesis like Ferran Torres. Thirdly, your thoughts on Ilkay Gundogan, when he'll make his decision, and do you think he'll decide on Barcelona or not? And finally, your thoughts on Besiktas being interested in a few Barcelona players, and where do you see those Barcelona French players going, and what fee Barcelona would receive in return? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.